Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of All the Mod 6. I hope everyone's doing great today. I know that I am as always. So we're jumping right back into our game save here, and I really have not done anything since I recorded the last episode. We will have a stream that happens before or between the time that I'm recording this and the time that it's put out. So there might be some stuff that is done on stream. But if you are interested in catching any of those streams live or even just recapping on them, I have the link to our Twitch in the description down below. Feel free to check it out if you want to. So, with that being said, in the last episode, we got some awesome power generation up and going. I mean, some insane power generation up and going. And we have that set up in our mining dimension here. So coming out here, we have these bad boys right here. Now, realistically, we probably could put these in our overworld and it'd be perfectly fine. We don't even have to have it in the mining dimension, considering how much power is on them. And I'm actually, you know what? I am tempted to just bring them back with us. Yeah, let's just bring them with us. I know that we have them set up here, but if you guys recall in the last episode, if you were able to catch it, basically the problem that we ran into was that for some reason, when I updated our mod pack here, the mining dimension for us and the other dimension got all wonky and messed up. Have no idea why. Honestly, I'm not really sure at all why it happened like that, but it did. And unfortunately, we had to completely reset those dimensions in the backend files, which it is what it is. But we did ultimately lose our setup for the Gaia fight from Britannia, which is a little bit of a bummer, and I'd rather not get to that point with it again. I'd feel much better having to reset those dimensions if there isn't anything that is earth-shattering there, and we spent a decent amount of resources on these bad boys here. Now, they're still at 100% efficiency, and they're only unfortunately going to run when it is a daytime out, but also at the same exact time, I mean, it generates so much power, and we already have such a big backlog of it, I think it will be fine in this dimension. So we're going to keep it here in our main base for the time being, just to play it safe. But again, if you guys aren't concerned with it, highly recommend the mining dimension because you do get that sunlight all the time. Now, you might be wondering what we are doing today then, since we got that power up and going. Well, there's a few things on our list that we need to do. We still need to move our refined storage system, which we are going to get to. It actually might be more so on a stream because there's a lot of moving components with it. And we've already gone through how all the logistics of refined storage automation setup goes. So that might be on a stream. We got to do that. We do want to expand our power holding, our power cells and things like that. We do want to upgrade those and get even more because, I mean, even though this is a lot, I want to have even a more power. We need to get our rail system up and going. We need to finish our base here. There's like so much stuff to do, so much stuff. I want to get into bees eventually. But the main thing that we're going to start kind of continuing on today is around MineColony. So if you guys recall from 2 episodes ago, we did get into MineColonies, and it is a blast. I was having a lot of fun with it, and there's a lot of potential for it because it definitely adds on to the narrative of this being our kingdom. Now, a few things to note that I did not actually note in that episode. So this supply ship, you can actually find these out in the world when you are doing some exploration. You can find sunken ships. I think it is just sunken ships you can find them in. I don't recall finding them anywhere else. But you can find sunken ships out in the world or broken ships, and they will have these resource options from MineColonies in there, be it a boat, be it like an on land one as well. But basically, you guys saw we set this down, and this actually does offer a lot of resources to you, especially if you were just getting up and going. So back in here, you get some water, you get some cobblestone, some normal stone, a little bit of food. Obviously, you have your beds here, which offer a great place to rest. And then coming down here into the underneath area, you have some hay here. You do have a chest back here, which has some wood in here. I think this depends on what style of supply ship or supply area that you get up and going. I think it's spruce because we selected spruce, if I'm not mistaken. And then obviously there's some more stuff down here, and there is actually a cartography table down here if you wanted to work on maps and things like that, and then a whole quarters specifically for you, the captain's quarters, you could say, And then also there's stuff to get started into MineColonies down here, including a town hall and a building tool. So you don't even have to craft those up. If you guys recall from our episode, we did craft those bad boys up, but you don't need to. You can find them here once you set down your supply area. Now we're going to sleep through the night real quick, but we are going to expand on, because there's a few additional items that I want to actually show on camera, us getting up and running. We probably won't, I'll cut away and let them actually get built, because I did mention before, it does take a long time for some of the stuff to get built up. But coming over here, as you can see, we do have our building hut here, we have our town hall, and then we do have a singular home for our workers. Now, some of these guys are going to have things, different requests, and so on and so forth. So for this one, Mackenzie didn't have enough time to go to sleep in the last 3 days. So there's a couple different things you could select on here. I'll work on it. Please remind me later. That has to do for now, or skip the chit chat. It doesn't really much matter. Then obviously we have, I'd really like to live in a house. So obviously alluding to that. Now you could just skip through it. You could remind me later, whatever it may be. I always err on the side of just, I'm going to work on it, because like that's the goal of everything for this. And then, you know, kind of continuing on. Now, when you go into each individual colonist of your mine colony, they'll give you different attributes of that specific person. And you can see them here. But that's beside the point. I'm diving into something we don't want to do. That just, it goes to show when they have little chat bubbles above their head, it means that they have something that they want to talk to you on, and you can talk to them. Now, realistically, we do need to upgrade our house here, or at least get more of them going. Probably makes more sense to upgrade first off and then expand out as we need to. But one of the things we do want to get up and going is not only a restaurant here. A restaurant would be good. I've heard both sides of the argument that restaurants aren't necessarily needed right off the bat. So we're going to put it on our list, but a little bit lower down on it. So we do want to get a restaurant, but we also want a guard tower. This is another big part of it, because obviously we need people to actually guard our settlement here from attacks, not only by mobs, but you can eventually get to the point where you can get attacked by other enemies. Go with that. So with that being said, I did set up our crafting grid on a hotbar here, and we're going to get a guard tower going. It does look like we do need a bow. I'm actually surprised I don't have a bow laying around, but we're going to get a guard tower going. Now, there's a couple different options with the protection in the camp, and if we go to MineColonies in itself, we can take a look here. So not only did we have the tower, but we also have, or there it is, the guard tower there. You also have the normal barracks, which I'm trying to find here. Some of these kind of roll in together. They all kind of look very similar. There you go. There's a barracks tower and then a barracks in general. But the barracks, you do need to have research done at the university, which is another item on our list that we want to get up and going, because obviously we want to grow and expand our stuff. But anywho, let's get a guard tower going. This is going to be really cool. We have to decide where we want them to be at. I think realistically, probably in this direction is going to be the best one. Now, again, if you want to see where you have the ability to place down stuff, you bring up your building tool here, and you can see the different areas that you can place down different items. I think for us, I don't know if it makes sense to have it out by the water here. It probably does at some point to have it up here by the water. So let me pick out a spot here. So I picked out a spot here. I'm actually going a little bit farther over in this direction towards where our railway is going to come in here. Obviously, we have it set at a level 5 right now. We're going with the medieval spruce, which is going to match pretty much everything else we have set up. But obviously, we're going to want to bump that down to a level 1. Just like so. It's very interesting because, like, I don't know, like, you see how the door is now 1 above, but if we go up to level 5, I guess we would want to bump it down 1 more. We would want it to be on that level there. I think that's going to make the most sense, yeah. So, all right. That's what it's going to be. It looks so tiny right now, but that is it right there. Now, realistically, we could help build it out for the guy, but he is going to let us know what he needs. And in order to check on that, we do need our clipboard here. So let's take a peek. He might not show us just yet because I think he has to come over here, regroup, and then head over that way. Let's see. Or actually, oh, I'm sorry. I always forget this. It's a weird step with it that once you have it placed down, you do need to come over here and you actually go to build options, and then you have to hit build building. So then it'll actually send out the build request, and then he will come and do it. So I am going to see what all he needs, get him all the resources, let it build up, and then once we come back, hopefully we'll be at a little bit better spot with this. Alright guys, so I've been doing quite a bit of work here on our MineColony stuff. I'll bring you on back just to show you where we're at, and I'm actually going to get another item set up because we do need some more jobs for our colonists here. So let me show you what we got going on here. Yeah, we have done quite a bit here actually. So I ultimately decided let's get some trees up and going to add some of that foliage. I went with these witch hazel logs because, or witch hazel trees I should say. These are the logs here, obviously. But I thought they looked really, really good. They added a nice aesthetic to it. It's like a cool green log itself, but then the leaves are like this brownish gold color. Like it's really, really cool. I think it's a nice aesthetic into here, and especially when we get these like tiny ones where they're like stumpy almost, it looks really, really nice. So, but yeah, as you can see, we have our guard tower up and going here, which is awesome. It's very, very tiny for the time being. Once we upgrade it some more, it'll be really, really awesome. And we do have another one of these that we could get set down, which we might ultimately do somewhere, probably over in that direction a little bit more, because there were actually some illagers that were over here. It might make sense to actually have one back here, like kind of hidden, like on the banks here, just in case something were to come up this way. But obviously we added some trees in here. Yeah, you can see there's an illager right down there. He's not too happy with us. But we also went ahead and upgraded a few of our buildings here. So we have a tier 2 builder's hut here. We go into here, builder's hut 2 or tier 2. So all you have to do to upgrade is you go to build options and you can hit upgrade. You can also repair it if it had some damage done to it, but for us, there's no damage to it yet. But as you can see, it takes a lot of stuff to upgrade it. I mean, a lot of stuff. Look at all this stuff. That's why a lot of this I really would prefer to kind of do off camera, do it on a stream or something like that, because obviously we don't want to spend that much time just waiting for things to get upgraded like this. It's kind of cool to show you guys a few tricks here or there, show you the progress on camera, but other than that, it doesn't make too much sense to spend a lot of time on it. Now, the other thing we did upgrade is our housing situation, because obviously we have a decent amount of colonists here, and they just didn't have enough places to sleep. Now, there are 2 beds up here, which is awesome. Not quite enough. We definitely want some more beds for these people, so we might get this upgraded relatively soon once again. And obviously we added in some pathways too, which I think really, really look really good. And I added in some grass and flowers and such, just to add again that dab of depth to it, that this is a little bit more natural than just being a flat, clean slate. Obviously the land is very flat and it does help us out with setting up these buildings, but ultimately you know, you want it to look a little bit more natural. So, but yeah, I think this is coming along really, really well. I'm really liking it. Let's see if we can get a screenshot in here. We might not be able to get our builder's hut back in there, but we could at the very least maybe do this one right there. Yeah, I think we'd be able to get that. That should work perfectly. So the next thing I do want to get up and going, because I said to you guys, we do need jobs. Like, we have a couple of colonists that just don't have jobs. We have one builder and we have one guy who is a guard now. But other than that, we don't have any positions open for any of the other ones. So looking at MineColonies, there's a couple different options that we have. Now, we could get into a restaurant, but again, I think I said it earlier, it's one of those things where the restaurant is really nice. So basically what the restaurant allows is a place for your people to go and get food from, but it's not necessary right off the bat. Like, I can give them food and then be okay for the time being. I think the next thing we would want to get going is a way to actually produce food, rather than just having a place where they can get it from. Because even if you set up a restaurant, you still need to provide it with food. So what I am thinking is getting a farm of some kind up and going. I feel like a fisher's hut would be extremely smart for us to do, considering we're right on the banks here. And we could honestly put it like right here, facing out that way. I think that would look really, really nice. Or, I mean, we could probably stick it way back in the corner over here if we really wanted to. We could probably get some of this pushed out a little bit, even a little bit more than what it is right there, and then place it down right there. So let me get some stuff together here real quick. All right, so what I have decided to do is go with a fisher's hut here. So we're gonna grab this bad boy. We're also gonna get our building tool just like so. And I think what I am actually gonna do is I'm gonna place it like right in here. I think we should have enough space for it. So let's just clear that away. We are going to use the build tool. Let's, not that, use the build tool. Hit X to get out of it. As you can see, this is what it's gonna look like once we get a lot of the stuff up and going, which is really, really cool. I'm so excited for this. This stuff is going to be so awesome to get up and going here, to get even more done on it, especially this town hall. Like, the town hall is going to look so cool once it's all set and done. But anywho, so thought I saw a glitch or something like that. So I think this is going to work relatively well. Obviously, we're going to want to bump it up to the max level here. Wow, okay, I did not realize how all that would be. It actually might make sense to kind of tuck it over here then. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, let's get out of that and let's come over here and let's actually place it like right here. Use the build tool. So we're gonna go with a level 5, and this is the medieval spruce. Should we back it in just a little bit there, because that will be the fisher's hut and then it'll be right on the water there. It does kind of get in the way, or it's very close to that one right there, but I think ultimately it's going to look really nice because it almost kind of cascades down and around like so. I think that's what we're going to want. So let's bump it down to a level 1. Just like so. And I think we are at the right level, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. That should be good. So we should be able to do it. Let's just double check and make sure that we're picking the right one. So we do want the medieval oak. The alternative we're not going with. So yeah, the spruce alternative. So nope. Okay, we should be set. So that will get going like that. And he will need some dirt to fill that out. Now, we cannot forget. I did a guard tower. That's not what I wanted. Hang on. Build options. I think, yeah, because we don't have to. I think what we can do is just destroy this and then get rid of all of these. That is not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I hit the wrong thing there. So I don't even know what the fisher's hut is going to look like. Maybe it will be a little bit smaller. Let's try it over here again. So if I do this, use the build tool. We don't want a guard tower. We want a fisherman. Yes. And we want the medieval spruce. That's what we're going with here. Holy smokes. Okay, that is very, very, a lot bigger than I expected it to be. Okay, so we flipped it around, and I think that's what we're going to want, is it into the water like so. Actually, it's not necessarily a bad spot for it. I think we're going to want to bring it up one, maybe shift it that way, actually down one, like so. I'm just trying to gauge where the water is then. That's all where the water is. So if we bump it this way, right? So I mean, it says water is there, but it doesn't necessarily mean... Well, I think it doesn't mean that the water needs to be at that point. So let's bump it that way. And then bump it this way. And then let's see. Because this is massive. What if we hit it up to a level 5? The level 5 goes out pretty far, but it will look extremely, extremely cool. Obviously, we need to bump it down a level because that's where it's going to be. Yeah, that's the level 5. Like, that's kind of cool. And then if we take into consideration, like, what this will look at as a level 5, like, it's going to look pretty sweet, to say the least. So I think that's going to work for us right here. I'm kind of digging where it's at. It's not going to take up too much stuff. And we should be good to go. So let's actually bump it back down to a level 1 here and get it good to go, just like so. Now what we can do, as per normal, is do build building. So it's going to be requested. William is going to come out and he's going to evaluate what is needed to get the ball rolling, and then we will provide him with what we need. Hopefully I think I did it with the spruce. Yeah, I didn't do it with oak. I did it with spruce. Holy smokes, I'm already forgetting things. So I will, once again, we'll get some materials together here and try to get this up and going before the end of the episode, because this is going to be really, really cool to get up and going. All right, guys, so I have spent, once again, quite a bit of time going through, but as you can see, we have our fisherman's hut up and going here. It's actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of ugly. Like, it doesn't look that great on the first tier, but once it gets up to maybe like the second or third tier, I think it's gonna look really, really good. The one thing I did notice actually is that the underneath is like not filled in, so we're gonna have to go through and do that on our own. I think this is supposed to be like somewhat filled in because there's dirt under here. I mean, if not, then whatever, but I think it'll look a lot nicer if this is a little bit filled in, or at least it'll make more sense because, I mean, if there's dirt, you would assume that it would be somewhat filled in underneath. So that's what we're going to do really quickly here. Just go through and kind of add a little bit of dirt here to tie things out a wee bit. Just very strange. All right, I got it fixed. Took a hot second there. But I think it looks a little bit better. It makes a little bit more sense now that like some of it's filled in. We could probably even fill that in a little bit more if we wanted to. Really, we probably could have pushed it back inland a little bit more than what it currently is, but it's whatever. It is what it is. Now, the only thing that we need to do is provide Bernard here with a fishing rod. So if we come over here and we actually shift right click on him, you can actually view his inventory. Well, we can just give him a fishing rod and that actually should suffice his request. Now it is getting nighttime, so obviously we gotta sleep through the night here. And there we go. So we also did have a chat that pops up here. So your town starts to flourish. To improve the productivity, you might want to upgrade the buildings. Just giving you kind of a little hint there on what you want to keep doing moving forward. Now with Bernard, I don't know how exactly this works. If he just kind of sits here and I guess fishes. That's all he really does. He does have some stuff. Yeah, he wants a house. Really, that's what we need to get next. Oh, this dude looks sick. He looks like a samurai. I'm digging it. Dude, if he could make sushi, oh, I love sushi. But yeah, we can see we could upgrade it if we wanted to. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm kind of curious on how this works. Like if he will bring it back in when he gets a fish. Ooh, it looks like he might get a fish here. I see him moving around. Oh. Yes, he brought it in, and I actually got it because I have my magnet on, but I think it goes into here, so we just want to be careful on that. But yeah, I think we're getting to a really good place with everything. So as you can see, I did add some more trees in. I added one right here. I added some of these in. This very classic design on what people will do. They'll put logs down and then put these rails over it to make it look like it's bundled up. Thought it was a cool aesthetic to add those there. And then we've continued our wall out over this way, and we'll continue it this way even more. So this will be kind of our entryway out into our bay area here, and I'll probably build out like some kind of boardwalk out here. I think that would look really nice to get that up and going. So I think the last thing I do want to do before we wrap up the episode, I know it's kind of been a choppy episode, all focused around MineColony stuff, but I think the last thing I do want to do is upgrade our town hall. I think it's going to look really good upgraded one more time. It probably makes more sense to actually get a house going than a town hall, because we have people that need beds and we just don't have enough beds right now. I mean, we have two people in there. We have Mackenzie and I can't even read the other one, something Courtney. And then we have Eleanor over here, who's the real G, who is guarding our place here. We have Bernard over here, who's fishing for us. And then I think don't we have William? Where's William at? I think he's in here somewhere. Is he... He's not down here. Is he outside? Where the hell did he go? Or was he sleeping? He might have been sleeping. That might have been the other one who was sleeping in here. Go upstairs. Let's see. Who's in here? Yeah, William's up here with her. So we have 4 people in total right now. We only have 2 beds. So as much as I would love to upgrade this bad boy right here, I think we really need to get another house up and going. But this gives us an idea. Oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted to do. Can we exit out of that? It's very interesting that it does that. Okay. I just wanted to view it, but this is what it's going to look like. Obviously, less that there. Once we get to the top tier for everything over there, it's going to look really good. So, all right. As much as it pains me, I think we really need to get another house up and going. And probably over here would make the most sense to get it. Maybe facing actually like out in this direction towards here, or even tucked back in this corner. Maybe we can get one here. So let me try to get that up and going real quick here. All right, guys. So I figured out where I want to place it. So I was going back and forth. I was thinking maybe it made more sense to actually upgrade our house to the next tier instead of adding a second house. I was thinking about it a little bit more. I was going to do it, but then I realized that in order to upgrade to our next tier, we actually have to have a builder's hut that is a level 3 as well. So it seems like to get to the level that you want for the building that you need, you have to have the builder's hut at that same exact level. So unfortunately for us, we won't be able to upgrade that until we upgrade our builder's hut to level 3. So I'm thinking, why don't we just add in another house? I know we're going to use it, and then we will utilize some of this other space. We'll probably build out the land quite a bit more over here, probably fill in a lot of this ocean space here and utilize it for actually building on and getting some different items up and going, different buildings and structures. So we're going to use this space right here because I think it'll look really nice once this is actually at the top tier. So we'll bump it down to a level 1. We are going to click OK, and then it's going to place it just like so. So we'll come over here, and then we're going to go to build options, and we're going to do build building. Now, obviously, it's going to require quite a bit of resources, but that is why we have our clipboard. The other thing I did want to mention is I actually did bring our one of our network receivers over here so that we can access it really easily. It's a little bit harder when we have to travel way over there to access anything, so I figured bringing it receiver over here would make the most sense. Now, the next thing that I was thinking I wanted to look at was some of the decorations. There's actually a few things that you could go through and find decorations on. So for example, we do have a well here, which is kind of cool. Obviously, this has to go into the ground, just like so. That's pretty much how it would look. That's all we can do right now, but there's a bunch of different things here. A bunch of different decorations that we could do. What is the rail? Ooh, that's interesting. Whoa, that's actually really cool. So you could actually build like a rail system like that. That's pretty awesome. A bunch of rails, roads. Ooh, okay, road. If we were to do a road for... Nice. What is that? Okay, it's very, very basic road. Wow. This is crazy. Ships, statues, supply camps, supply ships, walls. You can actually get walls up and going. Wow. Well, I'm curious. Walls. Whoa, that's actually kind of sick. If we did, oh, that's way too big. Okay. And then like wooden. That's actually very, very interesting. This even has like a moat around it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's really cool. So if we didn't want to build our custom walls like this, you could do it like so. That is really, really awesome. So there's a bunch of different options. Decorations, fortress, jungle, markets. Okay, so you could even make like a little marketplace decoration here, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of vibing with it because really you could use this for anything. I mean, you could have this just set up here along the side and have a couple market stands right here along the way. This is a really cool decoration. What else do we have? Just jungle decorations? Oh my gosh, that's way too massive. Ooh-wee. All right, medieval spruce. Okay, this is what it was. Medieval spruce is pretty much what we're rocking right now. And this is a well for medieval spruce, which is kind of cool. It looks like you can have roads that come into it as well. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. It's so easy to get distracted on things like this. Let's see. What is he requiring? A bunch of stuff. Okay, let me get him what he needs, and hopefully we can get this up and going as well, and then we can tie out the episode here. All right, guys. It does look like William down there is putting the finishing touches on this house. So I'll show you guys too what it looks like once it's completed, because I don't think I've ever shown that on camera. You do get a little notification, a little bit of fireworks as well once everything is said and done. You also do get a little bit of lag from time to time, but I think he is just about done here. if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it looks pretty much set. And this does hold 1 additional bed, so unfortunately it won't have 2. But I mean, hey, like it'll at least have 1 more place for one of our colonists here. The other thing I did want to mention is I am going to put a guard tower in here. I think it'd be really smart to have one set up right here. And it's going to look really, really awesome once they're to the max tier. Like, honestly, once you get to level 5 with all of these, it's going to look like a city. Like, it's going to look super, super cool. I really want to go full-fledged into mine colonies and get a bunch of stuff up and going. That's why I kind of want to utilize a lot of this water space and fill it in and be able to expand even farther out that way. I think it'll be really cool. Yep, there you go. We got some awesome fireworks right there telling us that the house is all set. And I did actually put this one on the right level this time, so we are good to go. And I did start getting put in place a way to connect it in, just like that. So it should be all set, and William is done for the day. This should have a bed assigned to it, or someone assigned to it. It looks like Bernard is here, so I think there's only 1 person who doesn't have a bed. So Bernard is there. William is over in this one, along with... I already forgot who's in this one. William and Mackenzie are in this one. So it looks like Eleanor is the only one who does not actually have a place to sleep currently. But once we get that one upgraded to a level 2... then everyone will have a place to stay. Now, I am purposely waiting on upgrading our town hall because I think once you upgrade the town hall, it allows for more residents to come to your colony here. And I don't quite want that just yet. I want to expand out, get some structures all set and done, and then from there, be able to add more people once we have the space for them, once we have the jobs for them, then we can get to that point. But guys, with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's episode. I know, very long episode, very cut here and there, like very sporadic on things here, mainly focused on MineColony. So I know it's not the most exciting thing, but I think seeing the progress is really, really cool. So hopefully in the final product, when you guys are watching it, it's really cool to see how far it comes from just a small little thing to now our pretty massive area here for our settlement, which is really awesome. Like, so big, like I can't even get like everything into one capture here. Like maybe we can, maybe that'll work. We'll try that. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, feel free to leave a like down below. Better yet, leave me a comment. Yeah, leave me a comment. I do try to read through all of them, respond where I can and whatnot. So, and like I mentioned earlier, we do stream over on Twitch. If you're interested in that, link is in the description down below, along with the link to our community Discord if you are interested in joining the community at all. I try to hang out there as much as I can, answer questions, and just see what's going on, guys. So that's what we're building here, a nice community. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you feel like you can take part in it as well. But guys, with that being said, thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it so very much, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.